music with color, blues, soul, that's what lasts. I don't think nobody's making music to last at all anymore. You know, a lot of the people involved in music, even at the highest level, it's about money. So it's going to be tough for it to last if your motivation is money. You know, you're not figuring out, you know, what really has staying power. It's not about the message for most people.
We're back. Welcome to Innersleeve, episode number 46. I'm Cassius Morris, Frank Pavan, and Joe Pacheco. How's it going, guys? How's it hanging over there in Quebec?
Oof, very good. It's getting cold. There's the weather. There's the weather update.
We almost got away with it.
Not even. What are you talking about? It was the first 5 seconds. What are you talking about? We always got away with it.
I thought we were in the clear.
Okay.
I'm not mentioning a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
How
true.
are you? How are you doing, Cassius?
Not too bad at all. You know, it's good to have an awesome guest today, as always. It's good to have some really cool topical music news. And, of course, all our segments are loaded up. But before we jump into that, just wanted to do a little bit of housekeeping right off the top. I'll mention right away that we have the SoundMojo merchandise up and running right now. We have hoodies, T-shirts, crew necks. And tell me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think this is some good stuff for the winter season since we are mentioning it.
It's true. It's a good point. Yeah.
Nice hoodies. Can't go wrong.
Nice warm clothing, articles of clothing for the winter. Yeah, for sure. If you're interested, go and check them out. The link is in the description below. If your heart so desires to purchase one, that would be greatly appreciated.
Before we get into our exclusive interview with Glasses Malone, we just wanted to let you guys know that if you're watching on YouTube, we want you to click that subscribe button. And when you click it, please hit the little notification bell right next to it to get real-time updates about everything we're doing. We have community posts, polls, basically any way we can find out what you guys want to see in here. We're doing that, and we want you guys to go check it out and let us know what you want to see on this program. Right off the top, a couple of news stories going on in the world of music, and there's some pretty big ones actually going on this week. David Bowie's estate, the great David Bowie, is in talks about selling his entire musical catalog. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, this means that they're selling the rights to all of Bowie's music, and whoever would acquire this could essentially have their way with the music and do whatever they want with it. The bids for this catalog are apparently attracting offers of up to $200 million, guys. I mean, I feel like that might be almost fair, though, in a weird way, because Bowie's such a big artist.
Yeah, I'm thinking like maybe it's just a numbers thing. We hear billions and millions and trillions these days, so 200 million doesn't sound like much. I mean, it's obviously life-changing money, generational money, if you think about it. But
out of my tax bracket.
No, I think it's pretty good, actually, if you ask me.
I'm thinking like with a...
No, I'm joking.
Frank's like, I'm going to buy it.
I was being sarcastic.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
I'm saying like,
Canadian
when
sarcasm.
you think of, you say 200 million, like the bids are starting at that range. Like,
it's insane.
This is, you know, when you think of athletes who've made it big, signing $50 million deals, like David Bowie's had his career making millions, and now his money can be like, you know what I mean? 200 more million for his work that's already been, it's huge.
I remember in the 90s, it was him. I don't remember the details there, but like it was big news. There was like leveraging artists like David Bowie. He was the first one who leveraged his music in terms of people were investing in his music, and then like they would make their money back on the royalties and all that stuff. So I guess that deal must have been over for them to be talking about this. But what's interesting is that there's a lot of this going on because we have so many great, fantastic legacy artists, right? Elvis, the Beatles, you know, and stuff like this. So it's going to be interesting. You know, a lot of these deals are flying by, you know, and what's cool is that, you know, like a lot of the giants, like big companies, are getting turned on into like music royalties as obviously a revenue, right? Especially when you have an artist like this, so you can place a song in a movie and get a couple 100,000, you know, and all that stuff. So we're gonna see a lot more of this kind of stuff.
Absolutely, and it's so much bigger too, I think, in terms of worth when the person is passed on, I believe, because maybe that's part of the whole attraction. This is all they have. That could definitely be an element.
It's also interesting, like how are they gonna remain relevant, right? To artists, like let's say like, the Beatles, the last thing a lot of people want to hear is the Beatles on I don't want to mention a name, but there's like Coca-Cola commercial or something like that, right? And it kind of devalues like, oh great, now we're hearing Penny Lane or whatever in this commercial, So I understand from that point of view, it's a bit like, meh, we're all like
not as appealing.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, like these guys are legends, and they have to figure out a way to navigate the oceans and like stay relevant and like continue making money, right?
No question about that. And just to put a little bit of context for everybody out there, in 1985, Michael Jackson bought the rights to the vast majority of the Beatles catalog. And in 1985, he got that for $47 million. So if you do the math...
Which year, sorry?
1985.
Yeah.
So it's approaching, maybe over 100 million, just about. I'm not sure exactly how it converts, but definitely not cheap to buy an artist catalog.
Wow.
Moving to something a little bit more current, and I really got a kick out of this. I'm curious to see what the listeners think. An AI-powered music-making game is opening up within the world of Roblox. Yes, you heard that right. The goal for this is to, quote, launch the next generation of superstars, and Roblox has just secured a $20 million USD grant or whatever they call it in terms of funding for this game. Now, guys, like, how do you think that this is going to work, mixing music with Roblox? Do you feel like these go hand in hand or no?
I brought this up because I'm so like fascinated with what's happening, especially like what we've seen since the pandemic, right? People being, necessity is the mother of invention. So it's like, as soon as something goes down, people are, live streaming on their Instagrams and stuff. But like games like this, and when you look at it, you're like, it's kids. Why would you take it seriously, right? But now you're seeing a lot of major names dropping concerts and doing virtual events in the Roblox space. You could buy Roblox cards and money for currency in the game, right? So you can buy your little avatars, you can buy your shirts and stuff. So this fascinates me to no end. It's just like we're seeing the future right before our eyes kind of thing, the future of music. And the fact that it's AI, it's another interesting thing because there's actually a show on TV, right? That's called, I forgot what it's called, but it's an AI sort of someone singing in the background. It's an AI star, so it's not my cup of tea to like not see a real artist, but I mean, until the right sort of look and feel, gets to me, I'll probably buy in. If it's like an anime character or something really cool, then I'll probably be like, oh, okay, this is interesting,
It's super interesting. It's a super interesting concept. I just don't know how, like, the lasting power behind it. I don't know if it's just like a fling type of thing,
Well,
like we see a lot of these type of. Would it be an app? Correct me though. Is it an app?
Just off the top, I think you said Roblox raised 20 million. Roblox is like, it's not that. It's the company.
No, it's probably their
Splash.
venture capitalist backing.
No,
it's
this Australia-based startup, right. Splash. They raised 20 million to help continue their AI and improving the stuff. And I mean, like, dude, like if you look at the stats, like, the game has amassed over 128 million plays and averages 10 million plays per month.
That's insane.
In this game, creating music, it's an app that you can create music and like, or maybe, a virtual character and is singing and stuff and performing. And like, I know that like Roblox, you can buy the stock. It's on the New York Stock Exchange, like it's huge. And it's like, I think 40 million users daily on this platform.
That's
playing
ridiculous.
games and a ton of random games. And it just proves to you that like, even if it's a kiddie, it looks like very kids oriented platform. It's really community driven because that's, your friends are there. Other people like you are there. So that's why these artists are flocking. I mean, we've spoke about this on the show many times, right? With Fortnite having these massive concerts with Travis Scott, 12 million people watching, like it's incredible. And you're in the game, so you could still play and do your emotes and all that stuff. I don't know, man. We're like really getting into interesting stuff here.
Yeah.
We're going to the next level, and it's going to be really cool to see how AI continues to affect the music business. And of course, we're going to be following this because it is very, very interesting.
I'd love to know is like what our audience, people who listen to this show, if they think, do they play Roblox or have you heard about Roblox? Have you attended any of these events? I'd love to hear that kind of stuff. Like if anybody's attended these events on Fortnite, what are your thoughts? Like, I don't think it replaces obviously live music, but I mean, when you're 12, 15, you can't go, 12, you can't go to these concerts, right? But you're seeing your favorite artists on your TV, so it's like, it's interesting.
It is
kind
accessibility.
of just, Like, I think this is also a testament to how successful the gaming industry is, like, as a whole.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I just feel like
Man.
it's a cash cow now for so many other industries to kind of piggyback onto and use.
If you think about it, like video gaming, because I'm a nerd when it comes to video game, but video gaming, like gaming, period, is bigger than music industry and the film industry combined. It's like bigger.
I never thought of that. That's true though. If you really break it down and look at like what's getting the most numbers, video games.
Yeah,
Dude, like,
I think so.
I don't
like
think-
I wouldn't know the exact numbers, but it, like being invested in the video game industry as a fan, as a gamer for the good part of a decade more, I've seen it grow. You know, people have full-blown career. Like, I'd say a YouTube creator for video games has a better chance of making an honest living than an artist, right? Like,
Absolutely.
that's fair, probably, right?
It's
No
hard
question.
Actually, to be honest, like on YouTube, gaming is really hard to break through because there's way more than even music is. But you're right, 100%.
Right.
You have a better chance of getting somewhere than like because you're like you're gonna get the audience that if you're into Minecraft, you're gonna get the Minecraft people. If you're into whatever, so it's not like you're trying to shove music down their throat. They're already playing this game, so it's probably a little bit easier to get your audience, but it's very difficult and things. Another thing you mentioned was with the video games. You know, like I'm thinking like classical music, right? It doesn't, you know, I know it sells, but it doesn't sell like, or streaming, you know, like maybe streaming helped classical music, but I know that it was tough in terms of buying CDs, you know, like people weren't buying CDs as often. They were going to the shows more, you know, to watch the orchestra and stuff. But can you imagine now with video games and all this stuff where it's like they're hiring orchestras more and more for the soundtracks of the games, you know, and orchestras are touring based on game, like Final Fantasy tours based on the music, so people will go all over the world watch an orchestra performing video game
it's
music.
funny. I know now we're getting off tangent a little bit here, but it's funny
it's
how
tangent.
it's funny how like making it onto a what are they called? There's a term for certain video games that like AAA,
like a
AAA?
server,
That's what it is, right? Having your music played on a AAA video game is more visibility than an artist can ever imagine. Like we're talking about Rouger, right? On Cyberpunk, which was even though I don't think that game lived up to expectation, the anticipation and the promotion and the launch of it all was just enormous. So anything attached to that game blew up. But you know, like you're talking about games like FIFA or anything that Rockstar produces, like music, like those soundtracks.
Huge.
Are just as part of the game as the game itself. You know what I mean?
Well, Grand Theft, right?
Anything Rockstar
Grand
produces,
Theft is the perfect example of just like turn on the radio station and like in the car and just listen to the ads and the songs. No, incredible.
I wonder how that happens. Like, I wonder, like, do these the gaming developing companies pay these artists like a set rate?
Oh,
or like, how does it work?
Yeah, the thing, from what I remember, because I've obviously as an artist tried to break into that and all that stuff, like, and it kind of sucks. I'm not 100% sure on this, but like, yeah, it's definitely like a license fee. So like, if they have a budget of $50,000 in music for this game, then they're gonna, but they need like 100 songs. It's gonna split the pie further and further. And obviously, the bigger names take bigger chunk of the pie.
Yeah.
What I don't like is that it is sort of like a one-time fee, whereas at least in a movie or TV show or something like that, a series, every time it's bought or sold or streamed, you should get your percentage for your music being played in there. Whereas in video games, it's like, nope, that's it. You got paid to have the song in the game. Yeah, like a flat rate, which kind of sucks because can you imagine like if you're on a game like Rockstar, like we were speaking of like Grand Theft
or a Cyberpunk,
and like what does it drop on the first day? They made $1 billion in sales on the first day, right? So can you imagine your little 10 cents royalties on that money? Set you up for a long time, you know? So I'm kind of a bit of ashamed that like the powers that be in terms of SOCAN and like the PROs didn't really fight for the artist more and saying, no, look, radio has to pay royalties, TV pays royalties, video games has to pay royalties too, you know? It would probably be another opportunity for them to do their creative accounting and you'd still find a way to like sort of screw over the artist, but...
Imagine there was like a little lighthearted disclaimer in the contract that like any play you get on the actual radio station in game counts to like a certain
Yeah.
money. Imagine that, like play
keep tabs
the most
of it.
popular
Dude.
games on the radio in GTA 5.
I think, man, you hit on something that I think, like, now I'm into all this crazy, like, Web 3.0 stuff. That could be something interesting because they're making video games on the blockchain. And the blockchain, the whole idea about that is that it's self-governed. It's code. There's no human bias saying, oh, I'm going to take some money here. No one's going to know. It's coded. It's checked. So it's like if something meets a certain requirement in that smart contract, it's executed without any delays. So, man, it's going to hit our voting systems. It's going to hit. So that would be something interesting that every time it's streamed, if someone chose it, there's going to be some money sent over to the artist,
That'd be funny. Yeah.
That could be.
I'm sure that's possible in some way, shape, or form in this world that we live in. That is possible. Yeah.
A license to print money, my friends. It is a a very lucrative business indeed.
Well, there's a lot of good. Sorry to cut you off again. I just wanted to get something in before, but there's a lot of good. Like, there's already so many passive income streams for artists and stuff, and this is just maybe potentially more. Like getting with app developers and game developers could be a good way for an artist to monetize on that. Anyway,
I would agree.
Here.
So let's move on to you guys' favorite part of the show, Frank and Joe, music trivia, which is, of course, something we all pass with flying colors here on Innersleeve, especially me. So we're going to do 5 questions today, and we're also going to have a couple options for these questions. So who do you guys think is going to win, though? Let's take a little fun bet.
I'd bet my entire house on Joe.
Okay, there you go.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it, man. Joe gets the house and the win. It's perfect.
Joe gets the house. I get like a fuck. I don't even know what I'd get.
I'll get your Xbox too, or do you keep the Xbox?
Yeah. No, that I'll keep on the road.
It was not coming furnished. Okay, here's number 1. Bruno Mars's dad nicknamed him Bruno because he resembled an athlete from which sport? Soccer, football, or wrestling?
Oh my God.
I'm gonna go with wrestling.
Okay.
Just because I don't know any Brunos right now off the top of my head in any sports.
Sacha Baron Cohen was in my mind, but that's about it.
You said soccer, so soccer, or so football, American football. Mm-hmm. So soccer, football, wrestling. And his dad nicknamed him Bruno, eh? No, because this one's a lie. This is a lot of line for me because it's sports. I got to hit on this one.
And your house.
It's all riding on this one, Frank. Yeah, this is for the house.
I'm gonna go with soccer.
Okay, the answer is C, wrestling.
Yes. For who? For who?
This is for Joe.
God.
No, I'm saying who was he named after? What wrestler?
Oh, okay. You get the point. So it says Bruno Mars's dad started calling him Bruno at the age of 2 due to a perceived resemblance to Bruno Sammartino, the former WWF wrestler.
Yeah. Okay.
Now you're talking about.
So this is it. The coffin's getting lowered here.
Yeah, exactly.
The coffin is getting lowered into the soil, into the earth.
I'm in the house now. I'm in the house.
I'll throw some dirt
Joe's at my front entrance.
I'm at your door.
Okay. Which one of Prince's hit songs reached the highest position on the music charts? Was it When Doves Cry, Purple Rain, or Little Red Corvette?
Man.
All smash hits. This is not an easy question.
Yeah, this is not an easy. I was going to say Little Red at first, but I would say Purple Rain.
Okay.
I'm going to go Little Red.
Little Red. The answer is you're both wrong. It's When Doves Cry. But I got to tell you guys, though, I wouldn't have guessed that. I thought the other two were bigger hits. I did.
No, I was really torn between the two that were on that album, When Doves Cry, but I just figured Purple Rain seems to me like a ballad. It would have done better. But anyway, good choice.
That's a good one, yeah.
Not too bad at all. Okay. This one is.
I've just heard Joe ring the doorbell.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Sorry, you caught me off guard for a second. I thought you were serious.
The moving trucks at the corner.
He thought that was.
Okay.
Oh,
the next one is, who is the most successful UK solo artist in the United States? And the options are Rod Stewart, Elton John, or Adele.
Wait. So this is the most successful UK born
artist in America. So I would say who sold the most and it reached the highest position on the charts as a solo artist. So we can't say the Beatles, solo.
I'm going to go Elton.
Okay.
I'm leaning towards Elton too, but with Adele and the powerhouse that she is. What's the other option?
The other option is Rod Stewart.
Yeah, that's a good one too, but I would go with Elton as well. And I'm going to be wrong.
Well, the answer is you both got it right.
Okay.
It was Elton John. So 1-1. We have a draw here.
No. Joe has 2.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You're right. 2-1.
Yeah.
Okay. We have
Truck
we
is
have
moving up
2
the
Things
more.
honest over here, you know?
Yeah,
Not gonna
exactly.
cut corners. Okay.
Okay.
This is the last one?
We have 2 more.
2 more.
Okay.
How many kids does Snoop Dogg have? Does he have 5
Legitimately?
kids? yeah, that we know of. 5 kids, 4 kids, or 3 kids?
I'm going to go
4.
with... I can't answer the same thing. I got to gain some ground here.
Yeah, but you might win with 4.
Yeah. You might go with Joe. He's been winning.
Yeah. 5.
Okay. The answer is he has 3 kids. So everybody's wrong here, unfortunately.
Oh, my God. All right.
Oh, my
Looking
God.
good
This
for
is the
me.
last one.
Yeah, man, this is looking good. 2-1. Okay, so this is the very last one. So this one says, Nicki Minaj had a well-publicized beef with which fellow American Idol judge during her time on the show in 2012? Was it Keith Urban, Mariah Carey, or Jennifer Lopez?
Sorry, this is Nicki Minaj?
Yeah, Nicki Minaj.
She was on the show in 2012.
She was
For
a
sure.
judge in 2012. And who did she clash with as a fellow judge?
So Mariah Carey?
Jennifer Lopez, or the man himself, Simon Cowell?
I'd say
Those are the 3 options.
I'd say Mariah Carey.
Okay.
I'd say, oof, yeah, she seems like she's got some feistiness to her. Jennifer Lopez.
Joe, you win. It's Mariah Carey. That's 3-1
Knocked
for
out.
Joe. Keys.
Knocked out.
Keys.
Let me press. There's the eviction notice.
Perfect. We got a pink
shit.
slip on the way. Well, there you go,
shit.
guys.
A lot of it was guesswork.
Congratulations,
Really-
Joe. You have officially made someone homeless. You've just increased the homeless rate in the city.
There you go.
One day's work at a time. One step at a time.
It's one property at a time, so I could buy David Bowie's catalog.
Joe's playing real life Monopoly over here. This guy's nuts.
Oh, God.
Gotta cut the check before the show. Never flex before you flow. Rather have me acting like a hoe. No smoke, no. Y'all know them no one no smoke. Them taking man for a joke. Whoa yo. Ring bum 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 bum.
So now I think we have a little bit of On This Day.
Yeah,
we can turn it over to
okay.
you, Frank.
Let's switch it up here. All right, these are some cool ones that I happened to find here. 5th of November, 1956, so going way back, the trailblazer, Nat King Cole, and his Nat King Cole show debuted on NBC TV in America. The Cole program was the first of its kind hosted by an African American. So huge.
Nice.
Huge, right? Breakthrough moment. And
I think they had a good
well-deserved.
name for that show. I think the name of the show was appropriate.
Very, very
Original, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Then not much thinking went into that one. They're like, okay, let's just make this one happen. 5th of November, 1983. So this one's wild. Like Topper, do you guys know who this guy is? Topper
Topper?
Headon of The Clash. Do you guys know who that is?
I know The Clash.
I know the Clash.
Yeah.
Okay, so Topper Headon of The Clash was arrested for walking his dog while drunk on London's Fulham Road.
Oh, wow. Public intoxication.
Out of all the things to get arrested for, I mean, yeah, it's public indecency, right? You're drunk, but walking your dog. Out of all the things that rockers are known for, the wild stuff, he's just walking his dog on a hangover.
You got a DUI, dogging under the influence.
Well, I mean, they won't arrest you. I mean, something obviously had to be happening. You must have been like screaming, yelling, or the dog was walking him. I don't know, man.
Yeah, he was being dragged by the
he's just
dog.
hiccuping down the sidewalk as the dog drags him. That's the only scenario I can think of.
Fast forwarding here, 5th of November 2003, Bobby Hatfield of the Righteous Brothers. You guys familiar with this? was found dead in a hotel room in Michigan 30 minutes before he was due on stage, aged 63. The autopsy reported the medical examiner from Kalamazoo County gave the opinion that Hadfield suffered a unexpected death due to acute cocaine toxicity. Oof. That was a tricky word there. Almost that one caught me off guard. Toxicity.
At 63.
Yeah, crazy. 63.
Doing coke.
30 minutes before his show.
I mean, wouldn't you have a heart attack at that point? Like, what does the guy expect, essentially, at that age?
Well,
Pretty shocking.
They've been doing it their entire lives, so it's kind of hard maybe to stop, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Like,
I would imagine.
If it was an addiction problem, but like 30 minutes before a show, man, that's crazy. People are
ridiculous. A lot of weird stuff happening on my birthday every year. November 5th is a spooky day. Always some weird energy there.
Who did you say birthday?
Yeah, November 5th, my birthday. So always.
That's your birthday?
It is.
So,
oh my God. So we didn't even wish you happy birthday on the show.
It's not the 5th yet. It's okay.
But we're recording.
Oh yeah, you guys are watching this on the 5th. Hey, it's okay. Listen.
Yes. Well, happy birthday.
Hey, don't worry. I'm not fishing. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spooky day.
Well,
spooky day.
It's funny because I actually had a happy birthday wish lined up for this one, and it wasn't for Cassius. it was for Brian Adams, who turns 62.
Oh yeah, see.
Yeah.
A lot of
who do you
celebrities
share? Like
that.
Brian Adams, obviously you share a birthday with. Who else do you share? Do you know anyone else? Like, do you guys know who you share a birthday with? Cool people, celebrities.
I have a few cool ones. I have Kris Jenner, Odell Beckham, and Kevin Jonas.
Oh yeah, Kevin Jonas. That's right. I saw that one. Happy birthday to him. Wait, Kris Jenner. Oh, Kris Jenner. Okay. Wow.
Big boss.
Yeah, the big boss. Yeah. Hold on. I know I've got at least a couple cool ones. I know mine more on the sports side of things. For those of you who follow hockey, Pavel Datsyuk, legendary Red Wings forward Pavel Datsyuk. He's born on July 20th, and then also legendary Hockey Hall of Famer Peter Forsberg.
Wow.
Remember him, Joe? Yeah, July 20th as well. Yeah, so two pretty legendary hockey players on my birthday.
Nice.
Legendary status. Well, this was an awesome intro, I think. We had some good stories, some good trivia. Maybe next time we're going to switch the tables around. I'll be doing some trivia, probably failing miserably, so stay tuned for that. But now we're going to move into our chat with Glasses Malone. If anybody here is from the West Coast and you're involved in that hip-hop world, chances are you've heard of the name Glasses Malone. He's been around forever. He was one of the people who helped mentor Kendrick Lamar as he was coming up in the Compton scene and really got to watch Kendrick grow from just a small unknown artist to what he is today. He chats with us about hanging out with Dr. Dre, talking with Jay-Z, a bunch of different crazy stories that you guys do not want to miss. So we're going to let you guys get into it, and we'll be right back after this with a few takeaways.
Got the bloods on my team, who gon' f with cuz? I'm heavy in the streets, the club. I make G's bounce and want a buck to snub. Taking down everything, you spending bucks to plug. I was just a...
Glasses Malone, it's a pleasure to have you on the program, man. Are you in the studio right now?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's looking good in there. I always need that ambient lighting in the studio to set the mood.
Really important, man, to put you in that space.
100%. So right off the bat, I saw you posting about the new Boosie Badazz movie. I'm just curious about your take on that and the whole effort.
I haven't watched the film yet. I downloaded it. I just need to take some time to watch it. But I mean, all of this stuff costs so much money to make. And, you know, a lot of ways that the powers that be can shut down hip hop or the messaging, right, is by not allowing it onto his platform or by underpaying. So for Boosie to take it into his own hand and make his own content, feel me, and sell it, I think that's the move. And I think, you know, obviously the community should support it.
100%. There's a lot of support behind it, I think, from the community. Does it seem like it's being well received?
I haven't even seen no reviews, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was more about just getting it. I'm going to watch it. If it's good, I'm going to keep talking shit about it. If it's bad, I'm going to make fun of it. But
keeping it legit, though.
At least I supported my nigga, though.
No, 100%. So right before we started taping, we were sort of talking about the state of hip-hop. And I was sort of joking that it's been quiet lately, but I really have found it a little bit quiet. I'm just curious about sort of your thoughts right now.
Gangster rap used to keep hip hop on used to keep it on edge. Everybody was always on edge. The world was on edge. And we just got into a space now where everybody's just playing nice. Mm-hmm. And they're playing nice because they talking shit behind each other's back. So it misses that gangster rap that talks shit to your face.
Right.
That's all. It's just lacking some gangster rap. It's time to interject.
How do you feel about the hype around certain projects? Because it seems like the last couple months it was all that Donda, CLB hype. Do you think that that's negative for a project when it becomes so overhyped? It's almost like you can't reach any expectations.
It was great for marketing. I mean, it's funny. Kanye was a part of the same situation back in 2006, 7, somewhere around that time with 50 Cent.
Right.
And it's hard to market. Like for Drake specifically, it's tough because it's just trying to sell success. There's no real culture to sell with it. You know, he's not selling a lifestyle, it's just success. It's like, oh, I'm successful, I have money, or I got a plane, or I got a house, you know. But like marketing is so much about stereotypes. So to have him and Kanye kind of battling did become a much more interesting story. So I partook, you know, I listened to both projects once or twice, and, you know, so it was worth the conversation. I mean, I don't even know if it's hype as much as they forcing the concepts, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I think Drake jumped off faster, but I think Ye will last longer because Ye is really good at making kind of like this timeless thing that keeps growing. It's like an onion, tons of layers. Yeah,
no, that makes a lot of sense. What do you think is the most important part for a rapper? Because I've heard you sort of talk about the way people are marketed. Do you think that it's more so related to things outside of the music, or is the way you receive more so related to the music directly?
So in hip hop particularly, right? Hip hop is so cultural. You know what I mean? It's not just music, you know, it's the language in the music. It's, you know, what are you really talking about? You know, just being a good rapper is like, cool. You know, if you're in New York, I think that matters. You know what I mean? But I think for the rest of the country, they demand more culture from us. So I don't know if anything is more important. I mean, it's a lot of dope niggas that don't nobody know who they are because they're not being marketed well. So, and there's a ton of niggas who people don't feel is that great that are selling really incredible because they are marketed well. So, what's more important is a rough question to ask. It depends on what's important to you, you know. But I know one thing, you know, telling a story, trying to gauge somebody's interest in an actual, you know, in a product or in a person, it's gonna be rough by just saying, hey, this person is really good. I don't think people know what's really good anymore. I mean, people go to McDonald's all day, every day, and, you know, they more than Roof Chris. So, you know what I'm saying? I think
truth.
Yeah, I think it's a rough out. It just depends. You know what I'm saying? I hate to not answer a question, but I think it just depends. I think the story is a very important part of trying to get people interested, for sure, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's such a combination of factors, and I guess you're right. It depends on the person. It's not like you can just put one blanket answer for everybody. You know, I'm curious about the longevity of some of the stuff that's coming out. In your view, do you feel like most of these albums will just be here today, gone tomorrow that are coming out? Yeah.
They're not. The other day, right, I had wrote a film. Well, not the other day I wrote a film. I wrote a film. I just completed it the other day.
Wow.
And now it's time to send it to like a screenwriter.
Nice.
Right? So me and my boy been talking about it, sending it to somebody to write the actual screenplay or the script, whatever part. And he was asking me who did I want to go to based off the people I have relationships with. And I said it's so important to figure out what do we want the story to sound like? How do we want the music to be? And trying to decide between, you know, the 70s and 80s to have something kind of that's like interjecting more soul into it, or do we just leave it at this place of hip hop? Even though the movie is a modern day piece, just having the right music, you know, to tell the story. I say that point to say that I was looking at the Souls charts, the Billboard Souls chart in the 70s, which is now considered the hip hop and R&B charts or whatever. Like they stopped making the soul chart in 79. That was the last year they made it, Billboard Hot Souls chart. And I think the last soul song was probably in 77. Honestly, that was like really starting to do damage. They seen the changes. It turned into the R&B chart and it turned now to the hip hop chart. I say that again, like I say that to say that music with color, blues, soul, that's what lasts. I don't think nobody's making music to last at all anymore. I think, you know, a lot of the people involved in music, even at the highest level, it's about money. So it's going to be tough for it to last if your motivation is money. You know, you're not figuring out, you know, what really has staying power. It's not about the message for most people. So without soul, without blues, you know, attached to it, it's going to be tough for it to last. That's what attaches to our soul. That's what we hold on to, you know. I was thinking about how funny Madonna's music has aged. Like, I think I was referencing Drake as Madonna probably about 3-4 years ago. And people obviously got offended. They didn't understand what I was saying. You know, they don't know Madonna's history. They don't know she was a fucking titan in the 80s, like a monster. You know what I mean?
Massive.
And she go to any continent of the country and take the sound and make a record that's a global record with whatever sound. And it's very Drake-ish. But her music didn't age well. I was playing some songs for somebody and I was tripping like, damn, it don't sound as well. And, you know, I think that could happen to Drake. I don't think we play enough of Drake music. I think Successful is one of the better soul songs he's put out.
I could see that, yeah. Yeah,
it's a couple early ones, but for the most part, it's just, you know, a lot of people are making music for today and it's not a lot of soul or blues into it. It's no struggle. It's nothing, no grit. You know, it's just going to fall through your system. It's not going to attach to the cells and hold up. You know, it's tough.
No, that's very true. You know, you mentioned Drake with that example. Do you feel like Drake is a culture vulture? And do you feel like he's really up there on the throne, like, or no?
I don't think he's a culture vulture. I think that's a bit hasty because I didn't think Madonna was a culture vulture.
Okay, see, I thought that's what you were trying to say.
No. They're like scientists. They're really incredible recording artists. You know, they understand how to move the world. No, I don't think he's a culture vulture at all. I think he has a genuine affinity for cultures. I just don't think he necessarily has to represent any. And that's kind of where it gets thrown off. But no, I don't think he's a culture vulture at all. I think he's important to helping culture, just like Madonna was. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's one of the better recording artists for sure of the 20th century, the 21st century for sure. He's a tough act. He's not no fucking game. It's some science that went into the shit they do. It is not no punk shit for sure. So no, I don't think he's a culture vulture at all.
Run it, then beat it up. Let you feel it in your stomach, then eat it up. And it ain't no keeping up. She ain't hitting her notes, I ain't deep enough. I go deeper. $1 million man, it's the sleeper. $1 million dream, you, me, and my Mercedes.
We talked a little bit about the guys who maybe are not at Drake's level, that their stuff is probably just going to be here today, gone tomorrow. You know, you've been in this for a long time. Do you feel a disconnect from some of these newer artists? And do you see a disconnect between the people at your level, maybe the Snoops and people like that, and the newer artists?
So Snoop is like level above me? I don't think so though. I think the good stuff is the good stuff still. You know, the great records are the great records. I think what's happening is you get a lot of artists who, you know, when Dogg came up, it was totally different. Like you just pretty much had to get a lucky break. When I came up, you had to invest a lot of money and, you know, you had to really be serious about it. So you had to be so good. If anybody did anything for you, it cost them money or a lot of time. So you had to be good. Versus today, I think the trickiest part is you're getting people second and third and fourth song. Like before I got, you know, Snoop probably freestyled for 10,000 hours before he was able to be in the studio with Dre to do what he was able to do. For me, I had to make so many records and bust my ass over and over. You know, you might have heard, you know, White Lightning might have been my, you know, 100, 200 songs. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere that deep. You know, a modern artist, you're hearing their second and third songs. The kid from Dallas had the song Ricky Bobby. Ricky, Bobby, Ricky. That was his first song.
Wow.
You know, I would like to believe Blueface is somewhere, you know, Dead Lokes or Tatiana. Those are within 1 in 30 of his first recorded songs. Maybe his 7th or 9th. So you're watching people's career develop and them develop the talent in real time. You know, they have fans already. So it's a different experience. But no, I don't think it's a disconnect. I think the good stuff is the good stuff. And I think the other stuff is just the other stuff.
No, you know, fair enough.
Somebody like Rimble. Rimble's coming up on the West right now. I haven't talked about him a lot, but you can listen to him finding his style. You know, you can go find songs on top of songs of that kid. And, you know, now he found a style that he likes and he's starting to own it. So it's not, you know, the ones that's going to really kill consistently, they're not going to be fly by night. There's somebody put in work. Blueface every day is getting better. I mean, you're probably listening to, you know, I had recorded more songs than he did before I put out my first mixtape.
See, that's crazy to think about.
Record. Yeah, he had his first hit record real fast. So, you know, I think you're just looking at two different type of experiences. Mine was like, you had to be at a certain level to even get a shot in the game versus them, you know, their generation. My first mixtape, I might have spent $35,000 to make. These dudes are downloading beats for free off YouTube. They getting the crack version of Pro Tools. They got the cheap little mic and they making a project. So it's just different. You know, you catching us at different parts of our careers.
Man, that's such a valid point. You know, do you feel like that makes it, like, how does that affect the game? Is it for better or for worse, do you think?
The music itself is probably for worse, but for entertainment and just connectability with other humans. People love watching you grow.
Yeah.
They love being down with you and rooting for you and your whole story. So they get to really be a part of somebody's journey. So that's ill. But obviously you're not getting the same quality of records consistently from any artist. Every artist, you know, the guys that is giving you consistently great records, they're going to be like way above everybody else. But I think that's why you're not getting consistent good records from every artist, like versus when I was coming up, like you was listening to. When I was a kid, you hear Method Man and shit and Wu-Tang, and them motherfuckers got joints, Snoop joints, Drake joints, Cube joints. They were fucking pros. They were fucking pros versus we watching a lot of kids, you know, try to figure themselves out and, you know, what do people want from them? So I heard a song the other day that it hadn't came out yet, but it was with Blueface and the Blue Bucks Clan. And it was dope. Like listening to Blueface, you know, he's getting so dope. You know what I'm saying? But shit, we watched him start rapping. He just happened to have a hit record really soon.
It just happened to pop off, right?
Yeah, and it's like now he's in the game, and it's like you, feel me? You in high school, you have a fire ass game, and now you in the pros. It's like it's gonna be tough. You know what I mean? Watching him work through the changes.
Man, it's just insane the way that it's been going. You know, you mentioned your first mixtape, 30 to 35 grand. Like how much did it, or I guess what did it take you to get to that point as an artist where you were really creating a buzz and actually hitting studios? Like how many years did that take for you?
So a lot of people could talk shit about mine. My first situation is my first mixtape.
Okay.
But getting into studios was tough. I spent a lot of time, you know, writing and rapping and battling and all of that shit on my own. And then I would go to a studio hoping to get on songs with certain legends from my community. And like, I'm too fresh, you know what I'm saying? I'm not ready for what they're trying to do. Yet I'm still working, recording songs every day, recording every day, recording on my own time. And my first engineer who engineered, not my first engineer, but the main engineer in my career who engineered White Lightning and produced a lot of it, my first mixtape, he shut the door in my face. Like, you're not good enough. Go home, and slammed the door in my face.
Oof.
I had already recorded 50, 60 songs. He's like, yeah, you're not good enough.
Oh.
I was like, damn. So, you know, had to go do 50 or 60 more songs to get nice and didn't cry because he slammed the door in my face. And, you know, 100 songs later, you come back and now it's like, oh, yeah, he can rap. So,
wow.
You know what I mean? It's just a different thing. Like, I went through some shit. To get people to help me. Because other than that, like, the beats at that time, if you wanted quality production from huge producers, they was gonna charge you $5,000 or $10,000
Easily.
You know what I'm saying? So I had 3 or 4, and then so I needed him to produce the rest of it, and he had the studio. If I would have paid him studio time and for all his beats, I'd have had $100,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 project. So I had to convince him. I had to be good enough for him to want to work with me without charging me and give me the production without charging me. So it was 100 some songs later. And the Dr. Dre co-signed like, yo, you should do this for a living. He was like, oh, okay, we can record.
Holy. So was Dre the first big connection that you ended up making?
Yeah.
Got
Dr.
you.
Dre, I know, right? It's funny.
And how exactly did that go down? He just heard you and said you could do this for a living?
Now, my older brother and his wife at the time, his wife and Dr. Dre's sister were best friends. Shamika, cool lady, cool. Dr. Dre's sister, super cool woman. And he was already managing me. And one day, it was like 2004, he's like, yo, you want to meet Dr. Dre? I'm like, hell yeah, I would like to meet Dr. Dre. But man, I was so raw. I didn't really look at music because I didn't grow up wanting to be a musician. So I didn't have, I wasn't a groupie, but also I didn't have the proper respect. You know what I mean? Like outside of like, oh, I play some of this nigga's songs. I be playing this nigga's songs and my shit. I mean, I like the Chronic. I like, 2001. I fuck, well, yeah, some NWA songs. Yeah, Dre, cool, are you from Compton? Versus now being in the business and understanding exactly what Dre represents is a total different
How
thing.
big it is.
Yeah, it's totally different. But my attitude was so like nonchalant at the time. I was like, yeah, let's go meet him. So I remember, going to his house. It was a New Year's party, 2003, coming in 2004. And going to his house. I think he gave his crib to his mom at the time. And his mom could cook really good. Like his mom could cook her ass off. She was like an amazing lady, real dope lady. And I'm eating the food, fucking it up. You know what I'm saying? And Dre walks in and I'm sitting by the piano. He puts his hand on the shoulder. What's up with y'all? Blah, blah, what up? Talking to my older brother. He's like, yeah, this is my brother. He's like, well, what up with you? Show name, my name Glasshouse, cuz, blah, blah. Okay, what up? So we chopping it up. And he was just such a down-to-earth guy. That was the weirdest part. Like, he's still the most down-to-earth producer I've ever met at that level. Well, Toomp is pretty good, too. Toomp was pretty good. But Dre is like super down to earth, and we just having regular, casual conversations. And he just made me comfortable. I was like, yo, what's up, man? Like, let me get a beat. Like, I want to rap on one of your beats.
You were that comfortable.
But I'm saying it now because I didn't have a real realization of what that was. He laughed. He was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, you make beats, I'll rap. Feel me? Let me... Not sign me in there, like, let me rap on one of the beats. What's up? He laughed because he could tell I was so street and goofy. As a street nigga, you don't, nigga, I rap. You make beats, nigga.
It's like 1 and 2 goes together.
Yeah, 1 + 1 = 2. He just laughed. So he was like, yo, you bring me a record, feel me? I'll do a beat for you.
Wow.
And I thought that was dope. I didn't even know. I didn't get his number or nothing. I didn't know if I would ever see him again. This is my first time meeting him. But I was like, shit, okay, I got you. So I went back. I started making songs. I don't know what the fuck the hit record is, but I'm just making songs.
We'll get one eventually.
Whatever that is. So I make some songs, and he reached back out. He was like, yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, why don't y'all come to my pool party? He owns this super dope property in Malibu. And it's so funny because at the time he was renting it from somebody. And we talk shit this year. He made sure to tell me he owned it now. So
there you go.
Dre is still like a super competitive producer and shit with records. And I love it because I need to compete with somebody that's way better than me. So in my mind, I'm competing on him trying to make my best record. But he said, yeah, we'll come to the pool party, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, cool. It's a 4th of July party. So we go to the fucking 4th of July party. Feel me? It's cool. You know what I mean? It's popping. It's people there. It's nice. You know what I mean? This old white lady flirting with me. She's laying across the couch. She laughing and shit. It was a different experience. Mind you, I'm fresh from Watts selling drugs and gangbanging every day. But I'm cool. I got about 7 songs on me. So before the party is over, mind you, so this is something ill too. It's crazy he got that Super Bowl thing. That shit probably gonna be the best Super Bowl performance ever.
Huge.
Because This motherfucker had a 4th of July party, right? And if you ever talk to this motherfucker, he'll tell you. He had a fucking ship come pulling a barge in the middle of the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, right? Because we in Malibu, so we off the beach.
Right.
And he's DJing the party. You know, he's still on the wheels at this point. He's DJing the party. He's communicating on the walkie-talkie. I'm like, what the fuck is this nigga doing? And he's talking to the people on the ship. And they're popping fireworks, and he scores the fireworks with the music.
Oh my gosh, that is legendary.
I saw it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. That's all right. I didn't get, now as a grown-ass man, I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Next level.
Yeah. But at the time, I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, that's all right. That shit proper. And we finally plays the music. He's skipping every song like 5 seconds, 3 seconds. I'm like, what the fuck? He don't even know if the song is good. But to the first 3, 4, 5 seconds, he was skipping. And he got to one song I had called All Wrong. That was dope. He played it for like about 40 seconds. Like, that's cool, but that's not it. He went to the next song, skipped it. He was finna get to the last song. I'm like, man, I gotta go make 10 more songs. This nigga can't, this nigga got me fucked up, you know. He got to the 6th song I had on that 7-song CD, and it was a song I had on White Lightning called Dinero. And it was produced by St. Denson, the same person who did Good Time for Styles.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was a song called Dinero, and that song was so tight. He just was playing it. He thought it was the greatest thing. He grabbed me, yeah, nigga, this is the shit right here. This what I'm talking about. He was so pumped. He was like, I don't know what you're doing, but this is what you should be doing for a living. And I just remembered he said that, and I really took it serious. I was already in it, but then it became like, yeah, okay, let's go.
You were all in at that point.
Yeah, I was already all in for the business side, but I really didn't look at myself as an MC. I always thought of myself as a business and opening a business. But that day I was like, damn, maybe I could rap, you know. Maybe being articulate could help me in this shit.
Do you think that your attitude of not realizing how big it was helped you and almost made you seem sort of cooler to it or less fazed by it in any way?
I don't know. You gotta ask. I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna text him and ask him and shit. But
gotta ask him.
I think it's a level of the truest gangster rap is very much I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So when they see Gangster and he don't give a fuck who I am, I think they appreciate it. I think it's a bit that makes him shy away, like, oh, I gotta watch this nigga. But at the same time, as an MC, it also is like, yeah, this nigga might be, he got that, you know, that attitude, you know, this might be the last nigga with an attitude, you know. So
the missing member.
Man, feel me? 20 years late, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? It was ill. It was an important part of my life. And I always go back to that point every time I question myself. It's 2 specific times in my career, even as I get older and mature. It's 2 specific times I go in my career. The first time is Dre telling me I should do this for a living. The second time is Jay-Z was like, yo, you might be the illest nigga I heard from the West.
Wow.
And this is when he was trying to sign me at the time. And these are not like, I'm not bragging, because obviously I've been stumbling and tripping all over my foots trying to get my career going in the correct way to get the recognition I deserve as an MC. Like, I've been stumbling and not getting it together. I done made money and had properties and low riders and all that shit, but I haven't truly became the pillar in hip hop that I'm supposed to be. So I don't feel like on top of the world for that no more. Now it's like, it's pressure, but I always go back to those 2 points. Like, okay, it's something this motherfucker saw. How do I make everybody else see what they saw? And that's really important. Those are the 2 times I really go back to.
Man, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, man. I mean, I'd definitely be going back to that myself. I know in the fall you're
pressure, dog, is so much, because you like, damn, well, I ain't got no motherfucking double platinum shits, and the fuck am I doing wrong? And so, you know, it felt good the first time, but then after a while it becomes like, what the fuck? You know, I gotta, what am I doing wrong? You know what I'm saying? So, but I do go back to him as reference points, like, okay, these niggas is not crazy. One nigga's from Brooklyn, the other nigga's from Compton. Something is real, you know. If you impress a Scarface, I'm sending Scarface an idea, and he like, this motherfucker fire. I'm like, Scarface said my shit fire.
And you got two billionaires backing you up too.
Yeah, I can't make this shit work. What the fuck am I doing? Oh man, the pressure is crazy.
No, it is big pressure, and it's a constant evolution, but you're killing it, man. And in the fall, you got the Glasshouse, the prequel, which is the reimagined tape. I'm curious about what it was like for you going back through that and getting it ready for this release.
It was fun, man. It was a good way to figure it out. It was a great way to take my knowledge and really put some respect on hip hop name. You know, I know that sounds a bit vague, but it's true. It was like my way of like, okay, I learned all this about hip hops and records. Let me come back and fix all the stuff I'm bringing to, if I'm going to put it on streaming services, because it may live here forever at this point. Where it's been is not going to live forever. Where it's going is going to live forever. Let me correct it, because maybe 10 years from now, somebody hears this and they want the complete experience of hip hop. So let me fix it. It's dope. It's like being able to go back in time and correct all your ignorance. You know what I'm saying? You get to really bring around, you get to round out all the rough edges.
That's perfect, man. And I'm definitely looking forward to that. The last question I really have for you was just curious about your relationship with Kendrick Lamar and sort of what it was like sort of watching, I guess, his transformation being sort of there on the ground.
Oh, Dot is a different one, man. I think we all knew Dot was ill. I had him on early projects rapping. I don't think I can speak for myself. I didn't know he was gonna be this shit. I thought he would have been way too dope for the world. Somehow he's been able to get them to accept how great he is. They don't really accept a lot of MCs of his caliber and brilliant minds of his caliber and so many layers and depth. That's not common for that kind of person to be mainstream. I watched different parts of his career, watched him as an MC, watched him walk in the door. I watched him just really grind it out, never whine about it. You know what I mean? Really go in, being on tour with him a couple times. I watch him study greatness too. He's like a different kind of student. Somebody compared Drake to Michael Jackson, and I said this years ago. I was like, yeah, he's more of Madonna. Kendrick is like Michael Jackson, where it's like Michael Jackson is such a student. People think Michael Jackson came up with everything. And really, Michael Jackson is a combination of really great talents and a natural gift. And that's Kendrick. Kendrick is the product of unbelievable education as far as this record and hip hop and music shit goes, and this unbelievable gift. So, man, Good Kid, Mad City was everybody else's like, oh man, Kendrick is that. For me, it was Damn. Because I always knew as an MC, he could rhyme. I knew he could tell a story. He was always good at that. But I always wondered, because I was like, yo, you gotta make records. Like, we're in this business, you gotta become the number one nigga in the game and drop hit records. Like, yo, you gotta go after it. I mean, if you gotta do it your way, if you're gonna restrict it to this small space, you gotta do it in this way. So to watch him figure it out, you know what I'm saying? And Damn put it together, like he put it together.
Yeah.
To me, that was like the most important part for me watching him. Damn.
Man, I couldn't agree more. I mean, he totally, once I heard Duckworth, it was over for me. You know what I mean? So definitely one of the greats. And Glasses, thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it. And I'm hyped for this new re-release you got coming out.
Thank you, man. Thank you. We'll talk about it some more after.
I'm in the club going dumb, something clean out front like, you know the haters don't like that. Looking so damn fly, sending cork through the sky like, you know the haters don't like that. Spend 100 on my timepiece.
Big shout out to Glasses Malone for joining us on episode number 46. I had a really good time chatting with Glasses because just a guy that you can tell, he lives and breathes hip hop. I mean, there's nothing else he would rather talk about. And it felt like he could have probably sat there for hours and talked about music.
Yep, totally.
In a cool room like that, man, I would talk for days. You see that cool room he was in? It looked like a
Awesome studio.
Cool, right?
Yeah. He's killing it. What do you think was the most...
My takeaway I loved is like when he explained the evolution in rap. And it's true because I saw it happen where it's like, I wrote it down here, when Snoop Dogg came, you had to get a lucky break, right? You had to like, like anybody else, get signed and like get a lucky break on the radio. When Glasses came up, he said like when he came up, you had to invest a lot of money, and it's true. You had to play like a major to be like a major, or maybe look like and come across as a major.
That's it.
And today it's like we're hearing everybody's first songs, and that's true, man. Because now you can write a song, put it up in no time. So it was interesting to hear that he said like, sure, there were gatekeepers back then, but maybe they were necessary, to keep. Like let an artist have, like even Kevin Ross, how many songs did he say last episode he wrote? It's about your body of work, right? Not your first song. I mean, if you're lucky enough to get your first song signed and be number one and all that. But I'm saying now we're hearing people's first songs. We haven't heard them develop their sound and style yet, But having said that, people learn a lot faster now than it was back then, right? There's so much more resources at our thing. So like and plus you're starting off from like with all these loop platforms for $9 a month, $10 a month, you have access to the highest quality of loops out there, So you're starting from a more mature platform. So like, and I find like, maybe people are writing better songs faster earlier in their careers. But it was interesting to hear his take on it.
That's a really good point too.
He also seems like a no BS type of dude. Seems like he's very involved in his work, very serious. But yeah,
it also sounds like he misses gangster rap quite a bit, right? Like it's come and gone kind of thing. So it's like the whole new generation is different.
Who's your what that made me think? Who's your favorite gangster rap? Is that even a genre, or is that just like people?
It is.
It is.
I think Tupac, Ice Cube would fall into that genre.
Well, wasn't
okay?
Oh yeah, exactly. That's it. And then what was Lil Wayne and all that? Like that was Crunk or something.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Honestly, Wayne is pretty hard to define. I think Wayne started as gangster rap, like Carter 1, Carter 2.
Like
I associate it with him for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Is Eminem and maybe his early work on D12 gangster rap, or is that just like another league?
It's a little different. I think the closest Eminem would come would be D12. I would say more a guy like Too Short. A guy like, there's really sort of these older school. Pimp C would be another one.
Okay.
But
well,
definitely Tupac.
That's not really here in the here and now anymore.
No.
Right?
No.
Like that. No, it's that's come and gone.
Well, now everything is.
Wait. Oh, wait. There was one guy who kind of had that vibe, but he passed away super young. Cassius, you might know him.
Is it
Pop
Nipsey
Smoke?
Hussle?
No.
XXX Tentacion.
Is it Pop Smoke?
No, I don't know.
Pop Smoke was closer
kind of like
to
heavy,
that.
No? Yeah. He was like yes. So I think wow. I'm the one coming up with an artist name on the show.
There you go.
Yeah, I think he was actually somewhat like I listened to a bit of his music, was good, but it was like the heavier type of rap, and I feel like it hit that genre. Anyways, yeah,
that hip hop drill stuff is just really cool, really heavy, and it is interesting to see the way that it continues to evolve. I mean, it always used to be about those big reverberating key sounds and talking about driving a lowrider. But honestly, I think the definition of a gangster has even changed. So maybe that has to do with what it's about,
I think gangster in the rap is like rock star and rock. You know what I mean? Like it's divine. It's been changing. It's always an evolving thing, right? So yeah, who's the next gangster rap? We'll see.
And I love how that word has been like it's just been how should I word this? It originated in a certain industry and field, but then you kind of use that word in different industries now. Like when someone's just a bad mofo.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like that just
but
gangster.
It doesn't matter. They could be anyone in sports. I know that in the UFC, right? Like the baddest. There was like the baddest fighters, right, are kind of called gangsters, like the OG 100%. Gangsters of fighting. So I kind of like how that word's been kind of plucked from one genre and industry and applied to another. Yeah,
absolutely. Just like saying that rocks. It's a totally applies it to something else. We thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Innersleeve. I think this was a really fun time. And just a quick reminder that if you're watching this on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and hit the little notification bell right next to it to get real-time updates about our videos, live streams, music videos, polls, community tabs. I mean, we have pretty much anything you could think of to interact with us in the SoundMojo community. Check out all of our other programming, Dre the Music Man. Like I mentioned, we have our artists. And of course, make sure to follow us on social media at SoundMojo, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. You can get us pretty much anywhere. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next week.